Oh my god, guys, stop everything right now. Prince William has just dropped a massive bombshell. He stormed into the royal vault and reclaimed Princess Diana's iconic sapphire ring, and he has permanently denied Camilla access forever. During a private family ceremony, Camilla casually called the ring part of the crown's shared collection, and that was it. William completely lost it. He looked her dead in the eyes and basically said, "This was my mother's ring. No one else is touching it." Palace insiders are saying Camilla's face went pale. She spent years trying to escape Diana's shadow, and now she's been publicly shut out in the most humiliating way possible. This isn't just about a ring anymore. This is full-on royal war. William is protecting his mom's memory like a lion, while Camilla is left feeling like an outsider in her own family. Britain is losing its mind over this. Headlines are exploding. People are taking sides. Team William or Team Camilla? If you're shocked right now, hit subscribe and turn on the bell because what I'm about to reveal next is going to blow your mind. You do not want to miss this. The tension had been building for months behind the closed doors of the palaces, but no one expected it to explode like this. Diana's famous sapphire engagement ring, the stunning blue stone that once symbolized a fairy tale romance before turning into a heartbreaking reminder of her struggles, had been kept under lock and key in the ultra-secure royal vault. After her death, it became one of the most emotionally charged items in the entire monarchy. Catherine wore it with grace and respect, but everyone knew the ring carried decades of pain, love, and public fascination. Then came that fateful private memorial ceremony at Kensington Palace. The room was filled with quiet emotion as the family gathered to remember Diana. Catherine stood close to William, the sapphire sparkling on her finger. The atmosphere was supposed to be respectful and healing, but everything changed in one single moment. Camilla looked at the ring and said calmly, "It really should be part of the crown's shared collection now, don't you think?" The words hung in the air. To outsiders, it might have sounded innocent, but to William it felt like a direct attack on his mother's legacy. His jaw tightened. Catherine lowered her eyes. Charles tried to smooth things over with careful words, but the damage was done. That night, William couldn't sleep. He kept replaying Camilla's comment in his head. To him, the ring wasn't just royal property. It was the last physical piece of his mother's story. It represented her pain, her strength, and everything she went through. He refused to let it become something that could be reviewed, shared, or touched by anyone who hadn't lived that pain. The very next morning, he made his move. He instructed his senior aides to immediately review the ring's security status and access permissions. What they found shocked even them. Camilla's office had quietly requested broader access to Diana's heirlooms just days before the ceremony. This wasn't a random comment. This was a calculated step. William's decision was instant and final. He headed straight to the royal vault with cold determination. When he stood in front of the sealed door, the staff around him could feel the intensity. He didn't shout. He didn't need to. His quiet authority said everything. "Get me the ring," he ordered calmly. "It's coming back under my protection." The officer in charge hesitated for just a second before complying. Moments later, the sapphire ring case was placed in William's hands. At that exact moment, the entire palace felt different. A line had been crossed, and there was no going back. Camilla was informed shortly after through a cold, formal message. Her request for access had been officially denied. Permanently. The queen consort sat alone reading the notice, her expression frozen. Years of trying to build her own place in the family had just received the ultimate rejection, all because of one blue ring. The real explosion happened behind closed doors in a private sitting room at Windsor. No cameras, no aides, no polite palace language. Just William and Camilla standing face to face with years of buried tension finally coming out. Camilla spoke first, her voice shaking with frustration after years of holding back. "I'm tired of being treated like I don't belong here. I married into this family. I've stood beside Charles through everything, and yet every time Diana's name comes up, I'm made to feel like an intruder." William listened without interrupting, but his eyes were ice cold. When he finally replied, his voice was low but sharp enough to cut glass. "This ring was never a trophy for the crown. It was my mother's. It carried her pain, her hope, and everything she suffered. Catherine wears it with respect, not as a replacement, but as someone who understands what it truly means. You will never understand that. The room went dead silent. Camilla looked visibly wounded. She tried to defend herself, saying her comment was only about inventory review and nothing personal. But William already had the documents. He showed her the notes from her office requesting broader access to Diana's heirlooms days before the ceremony. That changed everything. Camilla fell quiet. For the first time, she realized this wasn't just emotion. This was a calculated boundary. William made it crystal clear. The vault denial would stand. No future access would be granted without his personal approval. Later that evening, Charles sat alone with the authorization file in front of him. He knew signing it would protect his son, but deeply hurt his wife. After agonizing for hours, the king finally picked up the pen and signed the order. Diana's sapphire ring was now officially under William and Catherine's protected authority. Camilla's name was quietly removed from every access list. When the formal notice reached Camilla, she didn't shout or cry in public. She sat in her private room, reading the cold words over and over. Access denied. The woman who had fought for acceptance for decades now felt completely shut out. The shadow of Diana had won again. Meanwhile, William brought the ring case to Catherine in a quiet moment away from the chaos. In that private conversation, the future king let his guard down. He admitted how much this whole situation had reopened old wounds about losing his mother. Catherine listened with her usual calm strength and told him gently, "I never tried to replace her, William. I carry this ring to honor her, not to erase her." That moment between husband and wife was raw and emotional. The monarchy's rules disappeared, and only two people protecting a painful legacy remained. The confrontation had changed everything inside the palace. Lines had been drawn, wounds had been opened, and there was no pretending anymore. By the next morning, the story had completely exploded outside the palace walls. Headlines across Britain screamed, "William takes Diana back," and "Sapphire ring drama rocks monarchy." The public reaction was massive and emotional. Crowds started gathering outside Kensington Palace, holding Diana's photos. Many people saw William's move as a son finally standing up for his late mother in a way no one else had dared. Social media went absolutely wild. One side was praising William for protecting Diana's legacy, while others felt Camilla had been unfairly humiliated. The debate was everywhere. Team William or Team Camilla? Inside the palace, the atmosphere was tense. Charles' newest signature on that order had changed the family dynamics forever. He had chosen to protect his son's grief and Catherine's dignity, but at a heavy emotional cost to Camilla. She stayed mostly out of sight, but insiders said she felt deeply hurt and isolated, believing the monarchy had officially chosen Diana's memory over her position. William, on the other hand, looked relieved but not triumphant. He had achieved what he wanted. The ring was now safely back under his and Catherine's personal control. No more risk of it being treated as shared property. No more fear of it being pulled into palace politics. In a final quiet moment, William and Catherine sat together with the ring. He looked at the sapphire and whispered, "This belongs to her story, not to the institution." Catherine gently held his hand and replied, "We'll protect it together." The monarchy had been forced to face an uncomfortable truth. Some wounds are too deep for protocol to fix. Some legacies cannot be shared. And some boundaries, once crossed, can never be ignored again. This single ring had exposed the real power struggles, old pains, and hidden loyalties inside the royal family. Diana's memory remains untouchable. William drew the line. Camilla was left on the other side, and the world is still watching. So there you have it, guys. The explosive story of how Prince William reclaimed Diana's sapphire ring and permanently shut the door on Camilla. This wasn't just about jewelry. This was about love, grief, power, and a son protecting his mother's legacy at all costs. The monarchy will never be the same after this. William proved he's willing to stand up and draw hard lines. Camilla has been reminded once again how powerful Diana's shadow still is. And the rest of the royal family is left dealing with the fallout. Now I want to hear from you in the comments. Team William for protecting his mom's memory, or Team Camilla who feels like an outsider after all these years? Drop your opinion below, and let's see which side is stronger. If this royal drama shocked you, then smash that like button right now. Share this video with everyone who loves royalty and gossip. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next big bombshell. We've got more explosive royal stories coming very soon. Secret feuds, hidden scandals, and shocking truths that the palace doesn't want you to know. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Your support means everything. Stay tuned, because the drama in the British royal family is far from over. See you in the next video.